Hi everyone, and welcome back to Suzerain, episode number 3, chapter 1. So, last two episodes we did the prologue, we got the lay of the land, and now we've been welcomed into the folds of politics. It's time to dive in with what this exclamation mark is. So let's go for it. We've got, holy cow, read the reports from Holsword. Logistical issues. The mayor of Holsword reports that the rising population and fast urban expansion has resulted in a high level of congestion in the city. Yep, congestions are rubbish. Mayor also reports that the absence of well-designed, large, land-based logistics centres, where all transporters come together is one of the greatest problems for the domestic... Okay. So we've got problems in the capital. And we also have the General Staff convene right after the election to congratulate us on our victory. All branches of the armed forces were represented in the meeting. Great. And it took place at Camp Strongarm with massive security measures. The Chief of the Armed Forces, Volkan Kruger, made a public press statement highlighting the increasing chances of a military confrontation in East Merkopa. Why do you want to fight the communists? Look at this guy. Look at him. He's a 4-star general. And he's got terrifying eyes like the demon headmaster. I don't like that you're hawking for war, guys. Briefing then. Okay. Best mate Peter Vectern arrived a couple of minutes early and sat across from me. He was struggling to hold back the smile. We won, mate. We did it, Anton. We won. Finally. All these years with our noses to the grindstone paid off. Peter's eyes sparkled. The strains of the past few months had not put a damper on his usual raucous charm, but today he was looking and acting more like the old self. Oh no, it had put a hold, sorry. He loosened his tie and undid his top 2 buttons. I mean, that's not very formal of you, Peter. Enjoying the new secretary I picked out for you? Thought you'd appreciate her gorgeous set of talents. It's a shame the rest of your staff aren't as easy on the eye. Peter, I don't like that. I think he gestured to the slight paunch that protruded over his waistband. Oh, so you were making a self-deprecating joke, Peter. But I don't like your language, Peter. We need to talk about that. But hey, back at university, did you ever imagine we would be sitting here in the Maroon Palace? We have to celebrate this great victory. Okay, so let's celebrate then. I got my hands on something special for us. An early maroon... Okay, we'll celebrate at the inaugural ball. Just hang in there until evening. This is not the time to celebrate, Peter. We have work to do. It's not the time to celebrate, Peter. Because I really didn't like your little comment about the secretary. Yes, I agree. We've got things to do today. We can let loose at the ball. Let's move on with the meeting. We'll talk about the political strategy for this term. Lucian and I had a meeting with the party and the reformists. What, without me? We mostly see eye to eye, but I want to know what you think. Okay, let's go. I hope things are looking good. Great, let's get this over with. When Lucian arrives, let's see if I see eye to eye. I hope things look good. The door swung open. Oh my gosh, look at this guy. And Lucien Galade, my chief strategist, walked in. He was a compact man with sharp, bird-like features, and after briefly surveying the room for a walk, wall to wall, he sat down, poured a glass of water, opened his briefcase in a series of quick, graceful movements. He looks like the Master from Doctor Who from, like, the 70s, man. He is... Look at him. He worked as a lawyer before. He's a well-respected strategist. Oh, wow. He is a terrifying man. How does he speak? Gentlemen. That's not how he speaks. The tall case clock in the room struck 3 o'clock. Damn, you are exactly on time. Hello, Peter. Lucien turns towards me. He slightly, very, very slightly bows his head. Are we happy to see him? How are you? He's not wasting time. Let's not waste time, Lucien. I'll ask you, how are you? I'm ready and able, sir. Good. He spoke in... Oh, okay. He spoke soft, clipped tones that immediately drew your attention towards what he was going to say. Peter and I waited for him to proceed. So soft, clipped, I don't know how that goes. Soft. Let's start by evaluating our current situation. Does that work? Probably not. The majority of Swordish people demand change. They are more concerned about the economy than the constitution, but they blame the system for their problems. Makes sense, you know? People are losing their trust in our democracy. Why do you think radicals like Bernard Circus are becoming more popular? Who's he? He is a poet, writer. He's acclaimed for his lyrical flow. He's a left-wing doobie-doo. Look, he was part of the Red Youth, but so was I. So was I early on. You know, he shares the same ideological vision as Maleyev. Yeah, okay. I mean, that's not a bad thing. Okay. Everyone's expecting us to bring the change the last government did not. Franz Richter, leader of the Reformists, believes that true change can only be accomplished by transferring some of our powers, to the Assembly. I will move into the details of their demands shortly. Ooh. So, do I agree with the Reformists? Our responsibility is to democratise our broken system. We need to listen to people if we want to serve this country. If we lose power, we won't be able to execute the changes we need to make for the good of the country. Oh, that's a hard one, isn't it? Because I don't want to give up too much power, because everyone's after their own powers, and I think that Franz Richter is look at him. The smug-faced man. He's the leader of the People's Freedom and Justice Party. More like... Shut up. That's bad. That's bad. We will listen to the people. That's exactly what we campaigned for. A true change that will move the country forward. Well, we will need many allies against the old guard in the government. What if I just want to be the old guard, Peter? Lucian. Mr. Richter managed to persuade many members of the Assembly to give their support for drafting a new constitution. Reformist politicians are quickly increasing in number. While the reformist wing inside our party is still a minority, they could have a tripartisan majority in the Assembly, especially if they unite under Captain Smoothface. The USP reformists aren't wrong to agree that we need to change, but we should be in charge. Mr. Richter could be a potential ally in our goals to maintain the majority in the Assembly. Our party must fall in line with our position. We can't have a strong divide. Ooh. I will say they're not wrong, because we did campaign on a platform of changing the system, right? So they're not wrong, but it needs to be from our point of view. It can't be any of these other parties, these Tories over here. We can't. It has to be through us, and we can't let the PFJP leadership take the spotlight on this. The reformist demands are clear. They want to limit the president's veto power, ensure the Supreme Court is independent, and take away the court's right to vote on constitutional amendments. It's not that I don't care, guys. It's just that I imagine in a country with a proper constitution this means something, but I'm from the UK. We have an uncodified constitution. It doesn't... These things are trivial. They're not trivial at all, I know. Do I support the reformists? We need a proper balance of power in this country. We must listen to their demands, otherwise we are no different from the previous administration. I won't allow them to influence me. I will go straight down the middle. We're not committing to anything, but we're listening. We're going to listen. I agree, we can't ignore the winds of change. The old guard will do its best to preserve the Constitution. Chief Justice Hawker and his allied judges have a great influence over the Supreme Court, which will be tough to break. Yes, and if you remember from the last episode, if I can show something... This here, judiciary. Old Guard tend to have a majority. The centrists and the reformists have one more, but then we'd have to pander to the centrists, and I don't like pandering to any form of centrists, so let's carry on with my meeting. The court also has a final say over constitutional legislation. Without their approval, we can't even change it. Okay, so we need the courts on side to make any changes to our constitution. So, we all need a comprehensive bill to balance the structure more fairly. We must break the power of the Supreme Court one way or another. I'd rather not go against them. The risks are too high. Do we need to break the Supreme Courts? You know, I don't know. Yeah, we'll need a comprehensive bill. I agree the old guard won't like this, though. And a comprehensive reform that would make the reformists happy would mean maintaining a balance between all branches of the government, which means removing your absolute veto as well. The reformists demand that all loopholes in the Constitution are closed. Guys, looks like we have many challenges ahead. We cannot allow obstructions to exist. We can't underestimate the situation. We can figure it out. Our party still holds 130 out of the 250 seats in the Assembly, and we've got the power. Yes, however, to reform the Constitution, we must receive a 2/3 majority. Oh, great. In the Grand National Assembly, which is 166 votes, and a simple majority in the Supreme Court that equates to 6 votes. Oh, right. We've got a power game to play then, guys. After we settled on how to proceed, we will need to talk with our party figures. Our first goal must be to get 150 signatures needed to start the process. Following the green light from the USP, unique selling point, we will reach out to other party leaders to see if they would back our draft. The last step is to convince the justice of the cause. This entire process is going to take a long time. Yeah, bloody will, won't it, Lucian? But we must start working for Reform Committee to evaluate all possible things. Okay. We will write a more democratic constitution with the reformists. The new constitution should give the president wide-ranging powers to lead Sordland in the future. We could work with the old guards to protect our existing... Well, listen, I feel like we're reforming the country. Reform feels like a good thing in this instance. But then strong-arming it. The president shouldn't have all the power, right? We're going to make a more democratic constitution, guys. That's what you've been preparing for internally. Oh, Weaver. Don't forget, that's the promise that got us elected. Exactly. The key thing here will be strengthening the power of the Assembly, which we already lead. Yes, Peter nods. Yes, the divisions of power need to be rebalanced for the better of Sordland. This is a long meeting, isn't it? According to the initial draft we made with the reformists, there are 2 changes to the Constitution that are not open for discussion. He opens his dossier. First, the Supreme Court will no longer vote on constitutional amendments. Hang on. According to the initial draft... Oh, okay, so these are non-negotiable, is what you're saying. Second, the president's absolute veto will be taken away. This can be replaced with a limited veto system by fixing. What does that look like? I have no problem with these clauses. Let's work with them. I'd rather not include either of these. I don't know. I don't really get it. I have no problem. Let's work with them. Let's see what happens. Yes, sir. Lucian nods. We will form a reform committee together with all parties and start reaching out to all stakeholders in the Assembly and the courts. Okay, great. By later in the year, we should have an idea of the reform content and what parties want. Okay, cool. Oh gosh, another important point. We must be aware of the Lotharberg Group. The oligarchs convene under this organisation to influence economic policy. Conrath led it for a long time before falling ill. The new leader is Walter Tusk. Look at him. He's a businessman. Fuck it. According to reports, some members of the National Business Council are in their pockets. Who are the National Business Council? It's an official government structure. Tusk and the group will surely try to bribe us in exchange for special economic protections. Right, well, I want to work with them anyway. The new administration will be open to talk to businesses. I won't be bought. It won't happen. I will enter dialogue with them eventually. We need to be diplomatic. We won't let the privileged, greedy and snobby capitalists run the... Yeah. Yeah, without a doubt. Let's not underestimate their influence. These are not harmless people either. Lucian looked at Peter. As far as I know, Marcel Coronti has strong ties to this group. Who are you? He's a businessman. Fuck it, I don't like him. His influence could definitely be an asset to us, but I'm sure he'll want something in return. I'm aware of Mr. Coronti's wide network. That could come in handy. The group's influence is an important one that we should use to our administration's advantage. The group is dependent on our economic policies. They can't move a finger without us. Tusk is heading the group. We should make sure he's on our side. I really don't want to appease to these oligarchs, you know? The group's dependent on us. I mean, I'm going to downward spiral this country, aren't I? I won't be so optimistic. The capital they represent could do a lot of damage if it's diverted. We need to tread carefully on all sides with all power players to survive our turn. I need to underline the seriousness of the situation. Okay, alright then, Lucian. Yep, I stand. Military and general staff are powerful elements in the state. As history tells us, a dangerous one too. We do have some room to make structural change by reducing their budget, for example. It's quite limited. Oof, I want to receive the advice of military before I make up my mind. I don't want to die in prison. Oh, sorry. I am so sorry. Sorry, Peter. Sorry, Lucian. This has just been a very long meeting and it's been a very long day. I don't want to die in prison. With the Ruthberg threat on the horizon, we can't reduce our defensive capabilities. Oh, the military has done nothing but burden our society. We should do something drastic, like cutting its fund. We'll receive advice. It's sound to listen to them, but they're very biased and narrow opinions. Patriotism clouds their mind, and General Kruger is a spectre of the past. Defense Minister Josef Lancia is more loyal to us compared to General Kruger. As fact that obviously can change with our action. Either way, I see a potential rift between the two, since they are clearly of different minds. If we strongly act against the military, both of these guys will unite against us. I agree with Lucian. We need to tread carefully here. He looks at his watch. Well, gentlemen, precisely 30 minutes. You know what? It wasn't that bad. This concludes our political briefing for today. Our next meeting will be with the media strategist. Talk to you soon, sir. I will keep in touch. See you both at the next meeting. And they bid farewell. And the game is now saving. Well, holy cow. What does this mean for us then in that first little meeting? The Reform Committee. A Reform Committee has been reformed to discuss the possibilities of a new constitution. Great. The ex-president and our founder, Tarquin. It's really late. Declared that the Bloodish Freedom Party is to be illegal. Okay. Good to know. President may veto bills. Probably won't. President impeachable by court. Yep. Right, we've got a lot of stuff here that these are active policies. Okay. Cool. So we've got a lot of active policies. We got a so this is like the overview then of things that we need to look at. The Gendarmerie is an armed law enforcement organisation which... Right, okay. So we've got issues and we've got... Cool. Okay, this is really clever then. So, welfare, we've got freedom in curriculum. Under the law, education institutions have the freedom to teach either creationism or evolution. Oh, we're going to change that. Oh, okay. So these are things we can change one day. Not now, though. We've got an overburdened welfare system, low quality rural health. Oh man, I mean, health is something we really want to change. with schools and education providing a solid understanding of our founding father, Tarquin's soul, my god, our future citizens will be loyal subjects to our state. And we do have a good urban area of Sordland. Okay, that's cool. So, sweet. State security. Members of the security apparatus in Sordland enjoy excessive privileges. That's a worry. We have corruption, which we need to tackle. We have illegal immigration. Sordland has not decided on how to handle the increased immigration, leaving loopholes in the system that can be exploited. And we have organised crime. Holy cow. How are we looking on the diplomacy front? We're currently neutral. We're not aligned to any bloc. Are we a member of the OME? Yeah. Yeah, we are. And we are a member of AN, the Alliance of Nations. We have the expansionist doctrine of Rumberg in the last century has caused quite... Where is Rumberg? Rumberg. There are there to the north, look. Okay, so Rumberg is a potential issue. We have a lack of allies, great, but we are influential in the OMEC, and we do have some very experienced diplomats. And then we have loads of problems in law. Okay, so flip it. Oh man, and in economy as well. We are. Oh god, what a disaster! But it's fine. We'll sort all this out. I'm gonna sort it out. We do have experienced generals. This is great. News just in. Committee for Reforms has been set up. Flipping awesome. Support in Assembly grows for campaign finance bill. A bill to change the criteria for the allocation of public funds to political parties. Wait, what? A bill to change the criteria for the allocation of public funds to political parties is proposed by Representative Albin Clavlin. The bill aims to change the criteria from the proportion of votes won in a general election to the proportion of seats won by a political party. Wait, what? This would result in an increase of about 28 million. Wait, so you would give more money to the political parties who got the most seats? What the That's not... That can't be good, right? That can't be good. I know that this is our party, but, like, that is... That's like European Super League levels of, like, fixing the competition, surely. That's nuts. We'll see. Rumberg coming south. Our foreign policy analysts who are reviewing the recent aggression of Rumberg. These people. Yeah. I think we may have to deal with Rumberg a lot in this next turn. Right. We will finish that meeting there, and we will go on to the next meeting in the next session. Thank you very much for watching then. Look forward to the next meeting. Have yourselves a nice week or few days, whenever the next video comes out. I don't know. But thank you for watching. Glory to Sordland. See you soon. Bye-bye.